Hi guys, it's me again. This time I am going to be doing Gradius 3. I need to change some things here. Hang on one second. Okay, Gradius 3. What can be said about this game that I haven't said a million times before, other than it's fucking awesome. This is a game I fell in love with when I first played it on my Super Nintendo. I had to rent my games most of the time because games were 50, 60, $70 during that time. Yeah, you think you're paying expensive prices now. Back then you paid a shit ton for a shit ton. Anyways, so let me go ahead and press start. Alright, Gradius 3, a little backstory once more. This game was released in the arcades and, oh, you know what? 1989. It was released in Japan, was ported over to the Super Famicom in 1991, and it was a launch title, if memory serves me. If not, it was made shortly after the Super NES launched. It was one of those, it's a first generation Super Nintendo game. I'm going to keep it on normal because that's how I like it. So anyways, we're not going to use any cheat codes, we're going to do it the way it should be done. I'm going to pick my winning triage of weaponry here. Anyways, it was released in 1991, and it was released for the Super Famicom and the Super Nintendo. This is a first generation Super Nintendo. And it's better than the arcade game. The arcade game is just absolutely balls-ass hard ridiculous. I have the Gradius collection for PSPs, so I would know that. I've also played it on MAME, so yeah, brutally hard, needless to say. This version is playable. I mean, you will get your ass kicked, but it's not unforgivingly hard like the arcade. Speaking of Konami arcade games, there are quite a few that I really wish they would have released in the on consoles. There was a shooter called Thundercross, and it was made by Konami, and it was fantastic. I adored that game. Both of them, both 1 and 2. They had great music, and it was a lot of fun. Hard as nails, and it was one of those games that if you died, and even in the arcade, you could put in all the quarters in the world, it wouldn't matter. That if you died in the final stage and you had no lives in reserve, and you think you could continue, nope. Konami was a bastard when it came to that kind of thing. They would. It's like, okay, you make a game that requires a lot of quarters, first of all, to go through and beat, and then the last stage I can't even finish it now because you want me to not play. I mean, see how I get confused there? It's mind baffling. It really is. Rygar did the same thing. Now, if any of you played the arcade game version of that, holy shit, is it hard! I mean, I understand they're arcade games, and arcade games steal your money. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. But on the same token, you know, there's always room for fairness, if that makes sense. Here's the first boss, and he's basically a sand dune earwig kind of thing. It's not that hard of a boss. Now, when I was a kid, I could not get past this boss, and I did, but not the first night I had the game. Like when I rented it. My mom was real impressed by this game too. She was all like, "Wow, that looks so much better than your Nintendo." It's like, yeah, Mom, it's 16-bit. It's different. Remember the Bit Wars? And those are some good times. I miss those. I still miss those. I mean, everyone's like, "Oh, the reason why you play retro games so much is because of nostalgia." No. These games were fun as fuck, and they're still fun as hell. Hell, I'm noticing a lot of people that are in the age group of fucking 13, 14 are actually trying out retro games and finding out they actually have been missing out on some of the greatest gameplay elements and fun times. I mean, I'm not saying you should just totally hate new games. Even though they suck for the most part, I fucking can't stand new games. I barely play them. I mean, yeah, I'll give them a try here and there, but they don't have any lasting appeal. Sometimes I beat the game or don't beat the game at all, and I'll get so far and then I lose interest and just quit altogether. Now, with retro games, I can't do that. It's like, well, fuck this. I want to see the rest of this game because it keeps you intrigued, keeps you entertained. And what would you rather have? Great graphics and all that crap, or would you actually have a game that's actually worth the fuck to play? I mean, I want a game that's fun. And retro games are fucking fun, all of them are. I mean, there were some stinkers. Every game generation has stinkers. Now, as you can see, this game has a shit ton of slowdown. Welcome to the Super Nintendo. Well, that's because the Super Nintendo was only 3.5 megahertz. Not very strong. Now, honestly, I wish they would have made it fast. Or faster. Like, the Genesis was 7.68 megahertz. I mean, that sounds like it's nothing. But when it comes to console speed, back then that was amazing. Well, not only was it just amazing, it was fast. And I remember Sega fucking talking about blast processing. Well, the thing about blast processing, I mean, yeah, it has a fast processor. They're not lying there. What they're lying about is taking a shortcut. What they're lying about is there are games on the Super Nintendo that run just as fast, if not as fast. Well, it means the same thing. That run just as fast as they do in the Genesis. There's a game by Irem, I think, that proved that point. It was called Rocky Road. It's a shitty game. I mean, some people may like it. I don't. I tried liking it. It's not. So, but I'm okay with that. Anyways, it was really quick. The gameplay was just ridiculous. And Bubsy, even though that was a crap game, and it always will be, all of them, it was fast on the Super Nintendo. The point being, or my point I'm trying to make here is the Super Nintendo was capable of fast gameplay, rendering the whole blast processing fiasco useless. And guess what? I don't have to fight the boss now. Yay! I can go ahead and continue. Apparently, Viking Dave is challenging me. I talked to him earlier this morning. I got up at 2:30 because I went to bed around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I got a very wonky sleep schedule. Anywho, he's challenging me. He wants to play GoldenEye on the Genesis again. Use lesser health bars, and he said he'll get further than me. I have very little faith in that dude. I love you, man, but no, you're not, no. And if you do it, I don't know. I'll be amazed. That's it. That's all. Because I have nothing. I'm not betting. He's challenging me, but we're not betting. There's a difference. He thinks he's going to get farther than me with just 3 bars of health. With all his lives and continues, and get fucked. With his other playthrough, he could barely get to the fucking castle gates. He didn't even get there. At all. Period. He didn't get to the castle gates. That's right, Viking Dave. You did not get to the castle gates. You got off the bird's back, and then you fucking had a game over, and you were dead. Okay, the reason why I'm pausing is I'm checking my microphone. Okay. But yes, Viking Dave. I want to see you do better than me at Golden Axe with just 300 bucks. If you do that, you'll actually be a worthy retro gamer. But until that time, you suck. You suck. I love you, man, but you suck. Yeah, major slowdown in the Super Nintendo. This is a lot like a throwback to the original Gradius. Shit! Don't want to get shot, don't want to get shot, don't want to get shot. Diamond bullets are evil. Shit! I lost my shield, I lost my shield. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay. Moving down, moving down. Shit. Okay. This part literally makes my blood boil, my heart thump, and everything else in between. The only thing it doesn't do is make my peck pump. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Take it as you will. Basically, this part you just gotta shoot this dirt or sand and get rid of these rocks, and then you progress further. Matter of fact, the reason why I stay near the bottom is because there's this part where these two monster layers releases basically hell, and if you're this low, you can actually take them out, or at least dodge them easily. I am doing pretty good though. I'm gaining lives. I'm doing good. And I hope I can continue doing this throughout the rest of the game. That'd be great if one of my how far can I get games I actually beat the fucker. That would be great, because so far this series has not been kind to me. And it's a series I fabricated. I made it. Alright, I was going to do the whole fly down thing and bomb shit, but no, I'm going to go ahead and be the pussy. And yeah, this is the part I was talking about. Where they just totally try to annihilate you. It's ridiculous. Okay. Here comes the mid-boss-ish. Oh look, it's Fung Holio and the Twirling Fart Knockers. They just look like mountaintops with fans underneath. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I never really looked into it. It's not that important. At least not to me. Alright. One word of warning, never be up here when this part happens, because watch how far the screen scrolls. Yeah, you would have been annihilated. Alright, now this boss is a little tricky. I will do my best to defeat him without any problems, or whatever. I got my shield, I'm reduced size, so this is good. This is basically like the bosses from the first game. The ships that shoot lasers, just a little bit more sophisticated. Goodbye. Goodbye. As a teacher said to the kid at the Christmas vacation, goodbye. Yeah, that was stupid. Give me some props for jokes. Come on. I gotta have some props. I'm trying to keep this one highlighted because if I lose my shield again, I'll be able to get it right back. It's one of the little tricks I learned while playing Gradius 3. Gradius, there's so many pronunciations in the game. I wish the Japanese would come out and say, okay, this is what it's called. It's called Gradius. Like, thank you, Mr. Japanese man. Oh god, the Moai. Any Gradius fan would know that this part is bullshit, and every